we would always be together.
I told myself we could see each other whenever we wanted, but time just kept passing.
This doesn't look good.
Yeah, that was an epic build-up indeed to the final boss battle. 3 lines. Great. Okay, so let's take a look at the final boss in the game. Major Numerus, I believe its name is, if I'm not wrong. Because I don't think it says its actual name, but you get to see the names of like the individual heads. There's like a Hydra type weird enemy. Okay, so some of the stuff that I learned from my stupid encounter with it yesterday was that it can inflict confuse. So that's why I've got my gunner out to give me the confuse proof protection, and I'm hoping that these abilities here should be enough. So half damage is obviously going to help greatly, confuse proof, and well, those two are the main ones, the rest are fairly irrelevant. So let's see how this goes. As far as I know, provided that you don't get close to it, you shouldn't see Quake, which is going to be the most problematic attack. Because even though you've got all of these platforms here, especially the raised platforms, which is a first, it's the first time you get any kind of verticality in this game. Quake hits everything, regardless, so... If you're on this particular line, you always get a photon burst, but it always hits on that particular line, so you can always avoid it. Not a big deal. But I'm just going to run around a bit just to see what happens first. So when you come this way, you get Tria giving you some arid plasma, and this thing puts you to sleep. Sometimes. But since I don't have sleep protection, I'm not going to bother with that. And also, even when you're at the edge of this raised platform, you still can't hit it, it's still too far away to hit, so it's kind of pointless. It's only for long range attacks and dress spheres that you can use that. So for my current status, I do not need it. So what can you do against this enemy, and how much HP does it have? With low levels, let's see how much damage we're doing. Let's change to Gunner. Before I change to Gunner, actually, I might swap to Warrior first. Yeah, I'll swap to Warrior first, just to be safe. Because what I want to do, when it does use Quake, it can be quite damaging. And my dress spheres don't have, other than Dark Knight, they're very low HP, so I want to rock some Omni Guard first. I need to get close enough to attack here. Okay. Right, check this out. 9 HP damage. So, my gunner yesterday, even though I had some dress sphere combinations that gave me more attack, even with, I think, 26 or 27 physical attack, I was doing 11 damage. So, yeah, that's not really the way forward. Magic, you say? Let's use a magic ability like... Shit. Well, we don't have a magic ability here anyway. Let's use Black Sky, see how much that does. Maybe about 40 to 50 HP. But in exchange for that, you're giving up all of your own HP. So here comes Quake. 42 HP, and that's only because I'm halving it. So the mascot dress sphere is very useful in this sense because I can half the damage. But if it was higher damage, and if it was other kind of weaker dress spheres, that'd be hitting very hard. So gotta watch out for it. Okay, so I think you can understand that most of these dress spheres aren't going to do too much damage. Let's equip Psychic anyway, just so you can see what Psychic Bomb does. Here it is. 31 damage. There you go. So, how much HP does this guy have? We're about to find out. What was I using? There we go. So obviously remember, when it's using Quake, it has a confuse effect, and you've seen that confuse is absolutely disastrous, so you've got to have confuse protection here, otherwise you're going to have a bad time. Right. Enough of this silly 9 HP, 10 HP shit. The key to this battle, and what makes it so cheap and silly, is the fact that you can use Demi, so it's not immune to gravity-based damage. So let's see it. For only 4 MP, you can do 912 damage. So this thing has around 4000 HP. So, and the fact that it attacks once every few turns, you can take that HP away pretty quickly. So this is why I didn't know yesterday, and I didn't have a mascot either. So I was just kind of sitting far away and just hitting with a gunner. So after about 10 minutes of that, it still wasn't dead, so I just gave up and got bored and decided to finish the session because it was just too boring. Mini Demi, huh? So mascot really makes a difference in this boss battle at low levels. Obviously at high levels it's probably pretty easy, but when you're on level 22 out of 99, 39 out of 99, I guess you're still considered pretty low level. Even though I did spend quite a lot of time here. It's not like I've purposely come with low levels. So I believe when you're close by like this and you're doing close range attacks, or when you're within one kind of place, it counters back with Quake, and I think it uses Quake, so... As far as I know, it's going to stop using Quake, and this is what I wanted to show you guys, because it's very silly. Let me use Curaga. The infamous Curaga and Dark Knight combination. Okay. So here I am hanging out around here. And it's not doing a single thing. You can see, no sign of any Quake, anything. So this is what's silly. At the end of the day, if you have something like this, or even if you don't, I mean, the fact that you can just retreat here and you're completely safe is ridiculous. For a final boss battle, you should not be having this luxury, I think. After 80 floors, come on. But that's what they give you, so that's what I'm going to use. And they also made it not immune to gravity magic, so I'm going to use gravity magic. It's either that or spend another 20 hours leveling up, so I can take it on more kind of head-to-head. What's the point of that? So now I believe it will start using Quake again. Let me not attack it. Yeah, it's a range thing, so when you're close enough, it uses Quake. It's no big deal. Keep bringing it, chopping it down to size. Still have a way to go. And I haven't even used my secret weapon yet, the Demi Lexicon. To be honest, I never needed it. Demi's just fine. So this has got to be like the most disappointing final boss that I've faced in a game for some time. Because honestly, even though I didn't know the Demi trick, I could have still beaten this boss. All I had to do was mash X for about 25-30 minutes. That was it. You shouldn't be able to do that for a final boss. Almost there. Starting to get to lower levels. I might have to regroup one last time, depending on how many Quakes it uses before I get there. Because I do so little damage, I have to really use Demi all the way down to the wire to get him. Okay, 100 HP. Luckily, Mini Demi doesn't use too much enemy either, so my Dark Knight has enough to deal with it. Okay, let me do a final bout of healing. I don't want to take no risk because I didn't have a save memo, so my last save is at floor 75, so I'm not going through that again. I want to get this game over and done with at last. Okay, can't bother any more MP. Let's get him. It's just the fact that the heads have such a limited range. The fact that the one right next to me, the photon attack that it does is only in one straight line that cannot go anywhere else. The one up top is only effective if you climb to the upper level. Honestly, it's just really badly planned out. This boss could have been so much better. And the way the mini cutscene played out before, I was wondering if it was going to be a 3-person battle. I was quite excited about that. Now that would have been cool to finally have all 3 back for the final boss battle. That would have been nice. Okay, let's end in style. Some black sky goodness. I think that's it. That is the final boss. Wow, what a disappointment. Much like this game after the first 2 hours. Hold on. Ah, there's more. Okay. Fair play to you. Fair play to you, Final Fantasy 2, the last mission. You had one final trick up your sleeve. So I take back some of what I said, that it wasn't... At least they've given it a second form, which makes it somewhat harder, I'm assuming. Now I need to be careful. Can't even see where it is. Okay, so now we have a bit more of a boss battle on our hands. So the first form was maybe just a taster. So this is the thing about blind playthroughs, sometimes you're quick to judge stuff. There's nothing you can do about it, you can only comment on what you're seeing, but I guess Doom is ineffective against these as well. I'm going to keep going, because I want to start chipping away HP as quickly as possible rather than getting caught up with these guys. I am still at low levels, and at least it's not doing much damage. Still have Quake. Honestly, it needed a wider variety of attacks. We saw this from the boss on floor 20. So, I mean, we saw this 60 floors ago. Got to be a bit more creative than that. At least the boss on level 60 had some cool moves. Okay, so he's got another one of them. How many can he have? I wonder how long I can keep ignoring it for. Okay, this time, definitely, it was a good thing that I was too lazy to use Demi last time. Let's use it straight off the bat when it's going to do the most damage. Okay. Good. I guess from here on out we just have to keep doing what we're doing and hope that we survive. If he releases too many of those things, it's going to be a problem. I'm wondering if I should use Omniguard or not. It might help. Guess I'll keep going for now, and we'll see if I get into any danger. So they've corrected the problem of not having anywhere to run either, which is good. That's how it should have been. You should never be able to just run away in a boss battle and heal. This is the complete opposite. They've completely restricted it. And it seems like the heads don't have any moves of their own in this one. It's literally just Quake. That's all. So from this time, from that standpoint, it's poor. There's even less variety in this one. I mean, all 4 of those heads should be attacking me right now. Oh well. Just gotta roll with the punches. I think I've got enough MP and healing items to do this in time. I should be okay. Even the Quakes have stopped. What happened to the Quakes? At least the Quakes were providing some form of resistance. It's been like 5 in a row. I wonder if it's stuck, like what happens sometimes with fiends in the levels. Oh, okay, he's not stuck, he just decided to have a break. As they love to say in Japanese animes, don't underestimate me. Okay, so this little guy has decided to come closer, but still, even when they were attacking, they weren't really doing much damage. Of course, I've got half damage going, but even when you double it, it's still not that bad. Maybe if you had like 4 at once attacking you. Yeah, this boss battle's already over. So yes, they've corrected 1 or 2 of the things I talked about, but overall it's still a very shitty boss battle. Because honestly, if I wasn't doing this, what would I be doing? I'd be very highly leveled up, so I'd be like, you know, level 60, 70, whatever, and the only difference would be I'd just be pressing X and hacking away at it. That would be the only difference, and I'd be doing more damage. So, either way, this boss battle plays out shit, regardless of how you're coming in. What a shame. It started off with so much potential, honestly. Those first like 10-20 levels, I really thought we were onto something, but how wrong I was. Can I steal an ability? Damn. Well, at least we know it's called Major Numerus now. Does it have a third form, where it corrects even more of my criticisms? Or is this really the end and we get to see the final cutscene? I hope so. I'm tired of this. No, it's not the final form. Major Numerus says this is not even my final form yet. Fucking hell. Shit, this time I really don't have any MP. This could be problematic. There's probably still nowhere to run, so let me... Hold on, is it me or is Major Numerus moving now? Wow, it's getting more and more dynamic as we go. Maybe if it has like 4 or 5 more forms, it might iron out all of my criticisms. Amazing. Shit, I didn't go far enough. Again, I have no choice but to be close to Numerus, otherwise... Self-destruct. Okay. So if anything, it's better to just go close to them, it seems. I think I'm going to use a Premier Ether here. Surely Form 3 has got to be the final form. Can't be more than that. It looks like I'm going to push it into the abyss behind. Okay, so we have a regular attack. Very nice. I'm very impressed. Right, gotta get straight in with the Demi action ASAP. Let's see if it still uses Quake or if it's given that up and it's going to use something a bit more fun. Ugh, still this stupid fucking spark attack. I honestly don't care too much about it right now. I need to make as much progress as possible. They're going to take 26 damage. They're going to do 26 damage to me every time. I can live with that. And still no sign of Quake, even though I'm right next to it, so... That's a good sign. Let's make sure I'm facing the right way. Might. No, it probably won't matter. Yeah, it won't. So, multiple forms. It hasn't really made the battling experience any better. by much, maybe a tiny bit, but not really by much at all. Yay, Quake! Most original move in the game. I've never seen that one before. Is it going to self-destruct? I'd rather it did. Yep, good. It's a bit silly that self-destruct does less damage than spark. But they respawn too quickly. Honestly, I just shouldn't bother dealing with them. I mean, the minions have a fair bit of HP as well. So self-destruct is the quickest way to get rid of them, to be honest. And he's using Quake so rarely that it's not really a problem at all. I guess the only way to get the other heads to do stuff is to purposely kind of walk in front of them. So why would you do that? I'm going to be relieved to see the back of this game. Because I mean, it's so long, and the gameplay to cutscene ratio is so low. Well, yeah, it's so low. No, the cutscene to gameplay ratio is so low that it hasn't really done anything for me. Again, when it comes to Final Fantasy X-2, the main reason I play anything X-2 related is just because of my love for 10 and the fact that I want to see any more kind of sort of story there is for it. With me, always the first draw is, oh, is there any interesting new story or any good cutscenes in it? But at least Final Fantasy X-2's gameplay was pretty fun. I mean, compared to this, it was 1,000 times better. Obviously, they've opted for something different, but I feel like if they just spent a bit more time with it and really thought it through, they could really have made it a really, really cool game. But they've just missed the mark on a few things. Mainly the leveling system and the dynamicness of the combat, really. Which I mean is to be expected given the format, but especially the leveling stuff, surely they could have ironed that out. And the boss battles and the shops and the random drops and all this kind of stuff. Okay, I might as well heal myself one last time. I'm not too far away now. Please let this be the final form, seriously. I'm gonna be very upset if there's another form after this. Okay, so my voice might sound a little bit different than it did a few seconds ago, and the reason for that is because I'm actually recording this final 15 minutes of commentary a month after I recorded the previous stuff. The reason for that is I had a problem with the original render. Basically, I wanted to have this series wrapped up, but it clashed with the time which I was moving house, and in fact moving country, so I didn't really have time to upload it from my main PC, but I thought, let me get the videos ready, I'll render them out, put them on a hard drive, stick them on my laptop, and then I'll upload them from my laptop whenever I get the chance, because I wasn't sure when I'd be able to have my main PC up and running again. So that worked out fine. Put it on my laptop, checked out, the first few minutes to make sure everything was working fine, and then I deleted the original from my PC. And later, I found out that that for some reason the last 15 minutes of the video didn't render properly. So it got stuck for the last 15 minutes, and although I still had the original recording, which is what you're watching, the commentary file I'd already deleted as well. So Basically, I somehow lost the final 15 minutes of commentary, so I've had to redo it again, and that's what you're listening to now. So it's the only way I could do it. Unfortunately, whatever I did, I just could not find that final bit of commentary. So even though I don't really remember what I said for the end of the game, I've rewatched this video, and I'm going to rewatch the ending, and have to do it again. So there you go, that was the final boss, got the trophy that we needed. Time to watch the ending and see if it was all worth it.
Feeling about this.
Did she really think I didn't want to see her?
I really shouldn't worry about other people, but I can't help it.
I suppose it would be stranger if nothing at all had changed.
Things were never like this before.
I suppose some bonds just can't be broken.
Well, here we are. What do you think we're gonna see?
You're not still worried, are you?
Because if you are, we could just turn back now.
No way!
Well then, Y.
R.
P.
It's showtime!
Okay. Okay, so here we are. After 80 floors, we have finally made it to the top. And if you're going to give someone a game that is so repetitive and is going to be such a pain in the ass to get through, you better damn reward them when they get to the top. And what I do remember feeling was when I got to this stage, it's going to be anticlimactic. I do remember having that feeling. And, well, we're going to see if that feeling of mine ends up being true. What I was confident of was that at least we'd have a pretty good view, because in some of the earlier cutscenes, like floor 40, floor 60, we had some nice backdrops, so I was expecting good things on the backdrop. But from the cutscene, less so. But who knows, maybe we'll be surprised. Let's see. Looks pretty uneventful at the moment. Maybe everything will spring to life.
How do you work it? I think it's broken.
Maybe it's just old.
Either way, I think it's...
Worthless.
Oh.
So you worried for nothing?
You're darn right I did! Climbing all the way up this stupid tower, getting chased by stupid monsters. And we fought with each other for no real good reason. Now we finally get to the top and find nothing but some old piece of junk. Hey, letter writer! Weren't we supposed to see something if we came all the way up here?
So, you really don't see anything?
No.
You sure about that? Because I do. Well,
I did see it, but we...
We're all different. Spending time apart, going different places, seeing different sights. Before we knew it, we had all become different people.
Is our time together over now? Are we all gonna go our separate ways?
if so, then so be it. Who knows when we'll see each other again? Maybe we never will.
Still, we'll always have our memories. The three of us laughing, the three of us fighting.
Someday we'll all look back and remember the time we spent together. And even if we do grow apart, those moments that we all look back on,
Those moments will never change.
So there you have it, my friends. That is it. That is the ending of Final Fantasy X-2 Last Mission. And, well, as I predicted when I first recorded it, for me that was pretty anticlimactic, and to be honest, it didn't really add anything new. I mean, we spent the whole game talking about, you know, oh, we've all changed, are we still going to be friends, are we still going to be together, etc, etc, and to be honest, most of the final cutscene was still about the same stuff. I say the two things they did get right was, yes, it did look pretty nice, they did have the whole backdrop thing going as I wanted, and the track was good as well. And I do like what they've done here with the whole recapping of the story with some of the nice moments from the FMVs and the cutscenes, so yes, plus points for that. But I mean, honestly, for me that wasn't a very rewarding cutscene, and like I think I mentioned before in one of the earlier cutscene episodes, just this whole idea of it just seems so negative. I mean, after everything these guys have been through together, now they're suddenly like, after a few months, like, oh well, actually we're very different, and we're gonna probably go our separate ways now. I think it's a bit strange. I mean, after everything they've been through, I do find it very odd. I mean, they make it seem like just because they're different, they can no longer be friends and be together, kind of thing, which, I don't know, doesn't seem right for me. And it seems like a strange way to end it after everything that we've experienced in Final Fantasy X and X-2. But that's the ending they've gone for, and from what I hear, it only gets worse when we listen to the audio drama, which is what's coming next after this. So when I next get a chance to record some stuff, I'm going to check out the audio drama and put myself through that pain, because there is not a single person that I have read about on the internet that said that the audio drama was good. So it's one of those things, I'm setting myself up for disappointment, but it's one of those things I have to know. I have to know what's said and what's discussed in the audio drama. So yeah, last mission, I mean, started off well, but ended up being pretty disappointing for me. I mean, had it have not ever existed, I don't think I would have been any worse off for it. The only thing that I really appreciated about last mission, I think, was the stuff with Pain. Looking back on it now, I think the stuff that the introspective side of Pain, and the kind of more emotional, sensitive side of Pain that came through in the cutscenes, and the fact that she was one that kind of orchestrated the whole last mission thing, I like that whole angle and the fact that we got to know more about her in that way. But aside from that, really, and the first kind of hour or two of gameplay, the rest of it was pretty weak for me, unfortunately, so I didn't enjoy it too much. But it's over, it's something that I had to do, and I got to experience something Final Fantasy X related for the first time, you know, in the year 2014, so it's not all bad. And we still have one final thing to do for Final Fantasy X, and then we finish up the Final Fantasy X story, and at least for this channel, we never come back to it. So it's been a wonderful ride, and it's a shame that it seems like we're going to end it on a bad note with the audio drama, but I guess much like what Pain, Yuna and Riku were talking about at the end of this game, sometimes you just have to remember the good memories and just keep those, and just kind of try to forget about the worst stuff. At least we've had a damn good ride with these two games, and the highs have been seriously high, and there've only been a few lows, I mean, up until now. So it might end with a low, but I think on the whole, it's been a great experience, and one that I've definitely enjoyed, and I'm glad that I did, and I'm glad that I was still around on YouTube when the HD remaster came, because that was something I was always waiting for and hoping for, and when it dropped, that was the chance that I had to do it. So we're almost to the end, my friends, and I'll be back with the audio drama fairly soon, I hope, and we will discuss that in detail, and I'll be active in the comments for people that want to say their piece about it as well, because I'm sure everyone has strong opinions about it. I think they might have released that as like a precursor to a potential Final Fantasy X-3, just to gauge some opinion. And I think when everyone universally panned it, I think then they realised that it's probably not going to be a good idea. So I highly doubt we're ever going to see anything Final Fantasy X related ever again. So maybe like a 3D remaster in 5 years' time or something, a 4K remaster, I don't know. But yeah, I'm definitely happy with the HD remaster overall. Okay, that's it guys, hopefully I'll be back with more soon. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I mean, this game wasn't the best. Thank you guys for bearing with it, and for watching it anyway. I do appreciate it. And someday, somewhere in the sky, may we meet again. Not with a game like this, I hope. I mean, honestly, I can't help but feel that this entire game was pretty much unnecessary, because, you know, it's a vessel for them to drive the story a little bit more and to have a few more cutscenes. But if you look at the cutscenes, I mean, if there was like 30 minutes of cutscenes in this entire game, they could have just whittled it down to pretty much the final cutscene only, and added that as like an extra bonus cutscene for people that got the perfect ending. So literally just write a few months later and just have that cutscene, and it probably would have had the same effect. I mean, it doesn't seem like it really had enough to be a standalone kind of game, as it were. So I don't know, that's the kind of feeling that I had about it. And that is what I will leave you with. See you soon guys, thanks for watching.